My friends, the pursuit of health is not merely the pursuit of a body free of illness. It is the pursuit of wholeness, of balance, of living in harmony with the deeper currents of life. Longevity is not only measured in years, but in depth, meaning, and alignment with the self. To truly live long is not to simply add days, but to expand the soul within those days. Your body is not simply flesh, bones, and blood. It is the living vessel through which your spirit enters the world. It is the temple in which your deepest self resides. Too often, people treat the body as a mere tool, something to be pushed until it breaks, or neglected until it cries out in pain. But to walk the path of true wellness and longevity, you must shift your perception. The body is not your servant, it is your sacred partner. Every heartbeat, every breath, every sensation is a reminder that you are alive, and that life itself is flowing through you. When you nourish your body with wholesome food, you are not just feeding cells. You are performing an act of reverence, as if lighting candles in the sanctuary of your own being. When you move, when you stretch, when you walk beneath the sky, you are not merely exercising. You are offering your temple the gift of vitality. When you rest, when you allow silence and sleep to restore you, you are not being lazy. You are allowing the temple walls to be renewed so that the fire of the self may burn brightly again. The body speaks always. It whispers first a small atch, a twinge, fatigue. If ignored, it shouts through illness, forcing you to listen. To honor the body is to listen before it must cry out. Treat it not as an object to be controlled, but as a sacred companion on your journey. For as long as you walk this earth, it is the only temple you will ever truly inhabit. To care for it with love, with discipline, and with respect is to declare that you honor the divine spark that chose to dwell within you. Within each of us lives a chorus of voices, ancient and timeless, the archetypes that shape our instincts, saviors, and choices. When one dominates without restraint, life falls into imbalance, just as a song becomes noise when one instrument drowns out the others. To pursue wellness and longevity, you must recognize, honor, and harmonize these inner archetypes, for they are not enemies but allies in the great symphony of your existence. The warrior within you calls for strength, discipline, and resilience. This archetype urges you to rise early, to move your body, to confront challenge with courage. Yet if the warrior reigns without balance, life becomes only struggle, harsh, rigid, unyielding. Opposite the warrior, the lover invites you to savor beauty, to feel joy in food, music, connection, and the warmth of human touch. The lover restores vitality through pleasure and intimacy, but if unchecked it can dissolve into indulgence and excess, eroding health and longevity. Then comes the sage, the inner guide of wisdom, urging reflection, study, and mindfulness. The sage helps you see patterns, discern truth, and cultivate awareness. But if the sage isolates you in endless thought without action, vitality withers into passivity. To counter this, the caregiver archetype rises with compassion, tending to the needs of the body, heart, and the community. The caregiver nurtures and heals, yet if consumed by giving without boundary, it forgets itself and burns out. Wellness is not choosing one archetype over another. It is allowing them to take their rightful seats around the inner council table. Each must speak, but none must dominate. The warrior must learn discipline tempered by compassion. The lover must enjoy pleasures without drowning in them. The sage must think but also act. And the caregiver must give without abandoning the self. Balance is the alchemy that transforms conflict into harmony. To live long and well, you must become the conductor of this inner symphony. Do not silence any voice, for even the shadowed ones hold wisdom. Instead, guide them into balance. When the archetypes within you dance together in harmony, your energy flows without obstruction. Your mind remains clear, your emotions steady, and your life becomes not only longer, but richer, deeper, and profoundly whole. So much of what weighs us down in life does not come from the outside, but from the hidden places within ourselves that we refuse to see. The aches of the body, the tension in the chest, the exhaustion of the mind. Often they are the echoes of an inner world we have neglected. The shadow is that world. It is made of the feelings we repress, the truths we deny, the wounds we hide, and the desires we fear. Many run from it, hoping that if they close their eyes long enough the darkness will vanish. Yet it never does. The shadow waits, patient and persistent, showing itself through anxiety, depression, self-sabotage, and even physical illness. What you refuse to face inwardly eventually manifests outwardly. But here lies the paradox. What we fear most in the shadow is also what holds the keys to our healing. To ignore it is to remain divided, to fight endless battles against ourselves. To turn toward it, however, is to reclaim the energy that has been trapped there all along. Each unacknowledged emotion, each denied memory, each part of yourself you banished into the dark. These are not curses, but fragments of your own soul waiting to be welcomed home. When you bring them into awareness, when you embrace them without judgment, the power they once held over you transforms into vitality and wholeness. The shadow is not an enemy, it is a teacher. The anger you suppress may be the fire that fuels your courage. The fear you bury may point to the path where your deepest growth awaits. The grief you avoid may open the door to compassion and love beyond what you thought possible. To enter into dialogue with your shadow is to step into the alchemy of the soul, where pain becomes strength and darkness becomes light. Healing is not the absence of struggle, it is the transformation of struggle into wisdom. Those who dare to confront their shadow discover that beneath its frightening mask lies liberation. The chains that bound you are revealed to be of your own making, and the key has always been in your hand. When you integrate your shadow, you are no longer divided within yourself, and the body, mind, and spirit begin to move together as one. This unity is the essence of holistic wellness, and without it longevity remains shallow. With it, every year of life is not only added but deepened, enriched with authenticity and inner freedom. A body well fed, a mind well trained, and a spirit at peace. These are vital, but they are not enough. One may eat the cleanest foods, move with discipline, rest with care, and still feel a quiet emptiness gnawing inside. For without purpose, longevity becomes little more than survival. To simply exist, counting days and years, is not the same as truly living. What animates the soul, what gives strength to endure storms and vitality to rise again after every fall, is the fire of purpose. Purpose is the deep why that anchors your being. It is not always grand, nor does it need applause. For one, it may be to create beauty through art, for another to nurture a family, for another still to heal, to teach, to serve, or to innovate. Whatever form it takes, purpose aligns your inner world with your outer actions. It transforms routine into ritual, work into contribution, and struggle into initiation. Without it, even small burdens become unbearable. With it, even immense suffering can be endured with dignity and courage. Those who have lost their sense of purpose often age before their time, for the soul withers when it no longer has a reason to grow. But those who wake each morning knowing why they rise, no matter their years, walk with a light in their step and a radiance in their eyes. Purpose fuels longevity because it provides direction for the life force itself. It gives the heart a rhythm worth beating for, and the mind a horizon worth striving toward. Purpose is not static. It evolves as you evolve. What drives you at 20 may no longer satisfy the self at 40 or 70. This is not a loss but an initiation into deeper layers of meaning. To cling to old purposes long after they have served their time is to stagnate. To listen inwardly, to allow your purpose to unfold and transform with each stage of life, is to ensure that your vitality never ceases to renew itself. Longevity, then, is not merely the extension of years. It is the expansion of meaning within those years. A long life without purpose is a long shadow cast across wasted potential. But a life lived with purpose, even if brief, carries the weight of eternity. When you live for something greater than comfort, greater than fear, greater even than yourself, every day becomes both a gift and an offering. And in that offering, the soul finds its true nourishment, and the body finds its reason to endure. Individuation is the great journey of the soul, the unfolding of who you truly are beneath the layers of expectation, conformity, and fear. It is the eternal path toward wholeness, and it is the deepest foundation of both wellness and longevity. For to be divided against yourself is to live in conflict, and conflict breeds exhaustion of the spirit and decay of the body. But to walk the path of individuation, to become the self you were meant to be, is to live in harmony with your inner truth. And that harmony becomes health, vitality, and strength across the span of your life. Individuation is not about perfection, nor about chasing some ideal of eternal youth. It is about integration, bringing the conscious and unconscious into dialogue, reconciling the opposites within you, and allowing each stage of life to reveal its wisdom. In youth, it may mean discovering your passions and your gifts. In midlife, it may mean confronting the shadow, dismantling illusions, and reorienting yourself toward what is real. In elderhood, It may mean embodying wisdom, releasing the need for masks, and radiating the authenticity of a soul that has come home to itself. This path is not easy, for it demands courage to shed what no longer belongs to you. False identities, inherited patterns, collective illusions. It demands that you step into the unknown and trust that within you is a self greater than your fears. Yet every step toward individuation adds depth to your existence. Each integration of light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, masculine and feminine, expands your wholeness. And wholeness is the true foundation of longevity, not merely adding years to life, but adding life to every year. The individuated person does not fight against aging, nor deny mortality. Instead, they embrace life as a sacred rhythm, each phase holding its own archetypal power. They see youth as initiation, maturity as transformation, elderhood as illumination. They do not cling to what was, nor fear what is to come, but live fully in the eternal now, grounded in the self. Such a life, whether long or short, is abundant, radiant, and whole. To individuate is to discover that the essence of you has always been waiting. Not in some distant future, but at the very core of your being. The path of individuation is eternal, because it does not end with the body, it is the unfolding of the soul itself. When you walk this path, wellness becomes more than health, and longevity becomes more than years. You live in alignment with the truth of who you are, and in that alignment, every breath is infused with purpose, balance, and peace. So I say to you, care for your body, balance your inner archetypes, confront your shadow, live with purpose, and walk the eternal path of individuation. Then your wellness will not be fragile, and your longevity will not be hollow. It will be a life lived fully, deeply, and consciously, to its last breath.